Hey y'all, welcome to Margins to Movies, where we talk books, movies, and everything in between. I'm your host, your favorite internet bookworm, Nita Key. Della B, your other favorite internet bookworm, cannot be with us tonight because she is vacationing, honey. Hold on. All right, I'm making sure my audio works because I just tried to record uh, a minute ago, and my audio was not working, baby. That was not for the glory of the kingdom. Okay, so I'm just making sure. Okay, perfect. All right, so she is living her best life, enjoying her birthday. Okay, on vacation. So we wish her well. Hope she's having amazing experiences and getting some much deserved rest. Okay, because Della B works hard. She stays busy. All right, so baby, I am here. Okay, coming to you live. Okay, with I guess this is my first live solo review, I guess on YouTube or whatever, but I'm gonna hold it down, okay? I'm gonna be on my best behavior. I'm pretend like Nita's here. Well, I am Nita. I pretend like Della's here, honey, so I can, be on my best behavior. You know what I'm saying? Keep my professional demeanor and whatnot. You know how I do. But we are here to talk about, you see it, you see the title, House of the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 3, Daeron. Okay? This episode, let me tell you, it's no longer the Red Keep, it is the Rat's Keep. The Red Keep is now the Rats Keep, honey. The rats was all up and through, taking over, demanding to be seen, honey. They even showing up on dinner plates. Yeah, it was an interesting situation. It was very, very interesting episode. I thought that it didn't have all the action of the last episode, but it was okay because we see what King's Landing with the Red Keep or the Rat's Keep looks like with new queen. Okay, and that's Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen, honey. So the episode starts out, we see that Daemon with his dragon Caraxes. We also see Ulf with Silverwing and Hugh with his dragon Vermithor, and they are on the battlefield, okay? And they're talking to Lord Ormond Hightower. And they say, Lord Ormond, we would kill you, but her grace, she's offering grace, okay? She's offering grace to you. You can bend the knee and pledge fealty. He bent the knee and pledged fealty, and I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. You know what I'm saying? This man standing in front of an army. You're just telling him that you killed his family member Otto. No, but we'll see. So Damon said, "Hold on, skirt. Don't leave too fast, all right? Because you have somebody I want, Daeron. Okay? Because Daeron would be next in line for the throne since Aegon is missing and Aemon is missing for them as well." So he's like, "Come on, bring me Daeron." And Daeron popped up, and I was like, because y'all know I read Fire and Blood, and I was like, this didn't happen in the book. No, they never captured Daeron. And then I looked at that little blonde boy and I said, that could be any little blonde boy. Okay, if you actually look at my notes, if you don't know if you can read my handwriting, I said, is that really Daeron? And also, what about the dragon? So Daeron has a blue dragon, Tasarian, and I know that with dragons, I guess you can't just, come on, here boy, here boy. You know what I'm saying? It's like a dog or a cat. You know what I'm saying? You probably can't just bring it with you, but you gonna let them keep the dragon? I don't know. That was confusing, of course. But Damon, he revealed later that he would have burnt them all, honey. He would have killed them, but Rhaenyra wanted to give them grace. So we'll see. So now we're at King's Landing. We see that Rhaenyra is coming into her council room. Okay. Baby, I don't know what they call it. The room where they all go and talk and not many decisions get made and people get mad and upset and the egos battle for sway, I guess, over the king or the queen, I guess is what's happening in those little council rooms. But anyway, it's not that many people in there. It's scarce. It's bare. Okay, so it's Rhaenyra. We have the sea snake in there, and he's questioning Maester, Grand Maester Orwell. Grand Maester Orwell saying, "We don't have any money." Rhaenyra said, "What you mean? What you mean? Y'all don't, y'all was not y'all no more. We, me, I don't have any money. What are you talking about?" course we have money. He said, no, baby, the Green Council foresaw this day coming, and they said, baby, empty these coffers. We're going to send some money over here, some money over here, some money over here. So if Rhaenyra does take the throne, baby, she going to be struggling. Okay, so she realized that she cannot have the grand coronation that she wants to let the people know, hey, I am here. Okay, I'm your queen. I've come to save you. So she's very disappointed, and then she's kind of just figuring out what to do about money because she finds out that she has probably about a week, basically, and they're gonna be broke, honey. They're gonna be broke, broke. Massaria is there. She's sent from Massaria as well, and then Damon is there as well. Damon and Massaria just going back and forth. Massaria is always about the people, wanting to make sure the people are happy, the people are fed, and Damon's like, I'm not caring about the people. So we can see that they come from totally different backgrounds. And they were in a relationship together. It was kind of like, what did they really have in common? Hmm. Interesting. But anyway, Rhaenyra says, you know what? The lords, they're going to have to pay tributes. Okay. They're going to have to give us tributes. And I'm like, girl, them people not going to want to hear that. Okay. Those lords, you come into power talking about they got to pay you money, honey. They're not going to want to hear it, but we'll see. She says that she is not going to send for a small council. She is still mad at them about the death of her son, Jace. She blames them because they kind of stood by. I guess everybody stood by and let her just be locked in her room while Jace went off to fight in the battle and die. And I'm not even sure if that's how that happened. I'm not sure if they really knew, but she is a grieving mother. She's just grieving the death of her son. Even though she says later that she's not grieving, she's angry, but she is grieving in a different way. But yeah, she's just grieving in a different way, I think. All right, so yeah, they found out they broke her and no money. Rhaenyra thinks she sees Jace. So she's walking down the hall and she sees a Mirage, I guess, or another young man, and she thinks that's Jace, and we see that she's kind of starting to lose it a little bit. She asked Massaria to question the staff for Hightower loyalists. That makes sense because just because you come into power does not mean that the people who are there really are there for you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that hold on, let me turn on the chat. Oh, hold on. Is that the wrong one? Yeah, I don't know. Hey! Hey, sissy! Love you! Love you, welcome. Yeah, so when you come into power, you don't really know who is there for you. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's smart for her to question the household staff and see who might have loyalty to the high tower to the high towers. At the same time, it's like y'all change like one day this person's king, the next day that person's king, now someone else is king, someone else is queen, right? So it's kind of like people heads be spinning, like, okay, who we pledging fealty to now, you know what I'm saying? People just bending the knee and pledging fealty and leave us alone. But I understand why she's doing that, but you can also see that Rhaenyra, she's kind of paranoid. So I don't know, y'all, we'll see how that works out. All right, so Sir Luther. Hey, Sir Luther. Sir Luther, cutie, okay? Anyway, Sir Luther, who is the commander of the City Watch, he tells Rhaenyra, girl, I've been following you around and stuff, but I got things to do. I'm busy, okay? I'm an important man. I'm a handsome man, and I'm a very busy man, okay? So you need to go get yourself a Queen's Guard. And it's kind of like Rhaenyra and Daemon just kind of went and took the throne, and it's just a lot of things that they did not have in place. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of scarce around there. But he's like, you need to figure it out. She's like, okay, I'll get Daemon to figure it out. She says that she's going to send for Joffrey in the Vale. I said, Joffrey in the Vale, girl. Joffrey is on a boat to Pentos with Aegon and Viserys, your kids you had with Daemon. What do you mean you're going to send for Joffrey in the Vale? Baby, don't make me go back and watch season 2 because I know that those kids are in Pentos. So who sent the people to Pentos? That's wild. She said in the Vale. Child. Ooh, baby, you really gonna be upset. Baby, you really gonna be upset. Because Joffrey is not where you think he is, honey. And Raina little self, she ain't where you think she is either. She's not taking care of your kids like you told her to do. Honey, she running around with Chief Stiller. Okay? And he up to no good. with his thugging self. But anyways, she talks to the high septon and she says, "Hey, you need to anoint me as queen for the people, even though I'm not having the coronation I want." You know what I'm saying? We broke around here, but he said, "Girl, I anointed your brother Aegon. I'm not gonna anoint you. What are you talking about?" So she's like, "Wait a minute, honey. Okay, I am the rightful queen. Okay, I have these dragons as proof that I am the rightful queen. The gods have favored me." And he said, "Girl, ain't nobody worried about them little demonic dragons y'all call pets. Okay, ain't nobody worried about them. They do not give you any special sway over me. What you need to produce is Aegon's body." Okay, so if Aegon is dead, then I will, anoint you. But baby, she can't produce Aegon's body because she don't know where Aegon's at. So we'll see what happens with that, honey. She might have some issues with the faith, and that man already warned her. You don't want no smoke with the faith. Okay, you don't come for us. You don't want no smoke with us. You want to keep it all copacetic. Okay, so we'll see what happens with that child. But baby, Rhaenyra's reign. Let me tell you, I don't know if I'm. I mean, I guess I'm Team Black. I like Rhaenyra, but baby, I'm Team Valarian. Okay, I like me the sea snake and all that, and what they got going on with the chocolate people with the locks. But anywho, so the high septon, he's all uppity. He's like, "Girl, bye." So she meets with Corliss, honey. Corliss says, "I introduced to you my dastard sons, okay, Adam and Alan. These my dastards." She was like, "Oh, I didn't know, but I guess now that you mentioned that, they all do kind of look alike. I see the family resemblance." And he was like, "You know what? I want to legitimize my dastards. Okay, Rhaenyra, let's go ahead and work on that." She didn't say anything, so I was like, "Oh, she don't want to do that? Why would she want to do that though?" Because I'm thinking, baby, you don't have a team. Your team is scarce. It's scant, right? And Corliss has done a lot for you. So Corliss is asking you for something that would not cost you a dime. It would not cost you any gold coin, any gold dragons that you don't have. Go ahead and legitimize those kids, Adam and Alan. And also, Alan has helped your cause, and Adam has helped your cause. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and legitimize them and stop playing. Well, we'll see, baby. Rhaenyra, baby, I guess she can't sleep. Okay, she cannot sleep. And she just go find her man, honey. She goes through the halls and it's all dark and was like, "Girl, where you going?" So she went to Damon's quarters and she went to curl up with her boo. So I did like that. Rhaenyra is getting ready to go to sit on her throne to meet with the small folk, okay, to hear the petitions that they put towards her or before her as their queen. And baby, so something happens, women understand, honey. She gets her period. She gets her period. And I think that that's a very interesting moment because I feel like there's a continuation of that blood theme. Because remember when she took the throne, she had to take off Otto Hightower's head. She had to walk through the blood to get to the throne. It's like it's bloody, right? You have to spill blood to get there. You probably have to spill blood to keep it, right? Are you gonna die trying to keep it? What's gonna happen to her? You know what I'm saying? So, like this blood theme is just keep coming back. Now, in the book, I will say Fire and Blood. I don't think it's a spoiler to say this. The first time Rhaenyra took the throne, she was cut. Like she got cut by a sword, and the onlookers were looking and saying, "Oh, the throne has rejected her." But then, if you think about it, Viserys also got cut by the throne, and those some cuts that could have taken him out because of his condition that he was dealing with. But Viserys actually ruled for a really long time. So I think just because she got cut in the book doesn't necessarily mean that she was rejected by the throne. Because was her dad rejected by the throne? I mean, he died a king. But moving on, baby, the rats everywhere. Rats keep. Ugh, mm-mm. So they heard from Bela. Bela is basically a lookout person, right? She's on the lookout. She's looking for Sheep Stealer, and she's looking for Vagar and Aemon. They don't really know where Aemon is at. She says she saw Sunfire. Remember, Sunfire was Aegon's dragon, like dying, decaying. And that was interesting because that Sunfire is not really dead in the book. So I wonder what's going on with that. All right, so Rhaenyra and Daemon, it's time tonight. Okay, so we have the dragon seeds that came through that helped her take the throne, and so it's time to give them something back in return. So she's making them nice. Honey, Hugh the Ulf says, "You just called me the Targaryen." Baby, Rhaenyra said, "Not today. Not today, Ulf. Absolutely not. Oh, yeah, you got a dragon, but you're not about to be a Targaryen. Okay, we're not promoting dastards over here." I'm like, "Oh my God, Gotcha. Okay. All right, girl. I don't know if you want to make an enemy of Ulf, honey, because Ulf already got one foot out the door. He said, just call me White, honey. So he's off the White. He was like, call me the Hammer, Hugh the Hammer. And then what kicks would kill me. She said, "Oh, and Adam of Hull, Adam of Hull, and not Adam Valarian." Okay, you're not gonna give Adam his last name. Okay, we like I said, we team Valarian over here. We need to keep Valarian. So I'm like, you're not gonna give my brother his rightful titles. I ain't like that. I'm putting that cool in my notes. I ain't like it at all. Baby, after they are knighted, he was like, girl, I need a house. Not a castle, just a house. And she said, oh, we'll get you and your wife a house. He said, my wife is gone, which that was disappointing to me. I really wanted to see that reunion with his wife. I want to see what the conversation would be like. Have things changed? With their relationship, their marriage, now that he has this dragon, has he changed? I'm sure his wife would be able to know and be able to see that. So, but she has gone to, what did he say? Tumbleton with her brother, which she said she was going to go earlier. So, yeah. So he said he want a house. She said, okay, well, we'll give you a house on Vicinity Hill. He said, when? Because Aegon said he going to give me a house and it never happened. So she was like, boy, I got things going on. Okay, you see, like, all this I got going on, have a council. We'll deal with that when we deal with it. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know. I think you need to keep them dragon seeds happy, but that's just me. And it seems like you're not doing a good job keeping your dragon seeds happy. And these people have dragons. They have dragons, and the dragon seeds, all their dragons are bigger than her dragon, Syrax. So, something to keep in mind. Allison asked for her father's remains to be sent to Old Town. Rhaenyra's like, fine. And she's like, hey, girl, you remember when you were in power? How did you do it? Because these people, they are stressing me out, okay? It's a lot. And Allison said, you're going to change. You're not going to be the person you think you're going to be. And people going to have to die. And you're going to have to be okay with that. And Rhaenyra's like, no, I'm not going to change. Allison, no, I'm not going to change. But, girl, we'll see. It looks like Aemon's woman from the pleasure house was up there, and she petitioned for Rhaenyra when Rhaenyra was talking to the townspeople, the small folk, and she said, "Hey, these wealthy people, they've been stockpiling, and that's why the rest of us have been suffering and doing without." So Rhaenyra comes up with a plan. She says she's gonna have a banquet, and then she invites the noble people and merchants and stuff, and they like, hey, they kissing her butt. Hey, girl, we always knew, we pledged fealty and all that. And she was like, all right, yeah, you was pledging fealty to Aegon and Aemon, so whatever. But anyway, she was like, oh, bring out the food. They brought the food out. Baby, it was rats. Okay? Okay, it was rats and whatnot. So they was like, girl, I know you ain't feeding us and trying to, what you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Okay? Because we're not about to eat this. And there was like, you know what? You left the small folk to suffer, to eat rats, okay? And they was like, girl, we got money. We supposed to stockpile this money. And she said, you know what? I sent my gold cloaks in and they pillaging your homes, right? And she actually took the food that she got from them and the things that they stockpiled and she gave it to the people who were suffering. Lord Manderley came through and reminded her, girl, these small folks suffering because of your blockade, okay? But he said it in a nice way, but that's real talk, okay? So you had that blockade and you wanted the Greens to deal with it, the angry small folk. Now you're in power and you have to deal with these angry and starving small folks. So what you gonna do? Oh, also someone else petitioned her about them saying all the archers were gone to the war, and she said, and they said that they don't really have anyone to hunt for food or any place to hunt for food, and she told them to use the God's wood or the King's wood or something. And Lord Corlys said that most kings have not done that, but I guess it was fine if they do that. But then they said later that Helena was in the God's wood, so I'm like, maybe that wasn't a good idea, or maybe you should tell the people don't go into God's woods because now people are gonna be in there hunting. Also, I'm curious about the archers who went off. I'm sure they went off with Gwaine Hightower and they went off with Sir Kristen Cole. So what about that army? Are you gonna have them bend the knee? You gonna kill them? Like, what's going on with that? Because you still have that whole host out there. That's not supporting you. They're still supporting the Greens, so that's interesting. And I don't think they mentioned that. I have to watch it again and see if they mentioned that. All right, so she had a conversation with Daemon. She told him he's going to go to the Vale. It'd be very interesting to see if he runs into Rhaena and Sheepstealer while he's there, or if Lady Jane gives them up as not Lady Della. As Della B was asking, check out our previous review of episode 2. She was like, "Oh, you think that Lady Jane would give her up?" And now, I mean, I don't know. Um, and so he's going to the Vale to get the men that Lady Jane promised, or gold, okay? Because she did ask for things in order to get um the dragon, or to get the support. I'm still curious about why those kids not over there in the Vale. I think that's really weird. They've been talking about being a conqueror, honey. He's like, oh, we can take these. We got all these dragons, dragon gang. You know what I'm saying? Let's go conquer over here and conquer over there. Very much so, given Daenerys Targaryen, when she finally took her place on King's Landing, when she conquered the Iron Throne, and she was like, "Oh, we're gonna go here and conquer, and there and conquer. Go sit down." But Daemon is not the type to just go sit down and rule. Like, that's not who he is, and you can see that he and Rhaenyra have those different philosophies. Where Rhaenyra really respects the way her dad, how he ruled, the type of king that he was. And Jaehaerys the first was a very peaceful, wonderful king as well, and he was called Jaehaerys the Conciliator. Like she said, that she herself is going to be the conciliator. And so her and Daemon have different philosophies about ruling, so they're already starting to bump heads. So we'll see what happens with that. So then he reminds her, "Girl, you gotta kill Daeron." And I wrote in my notes, yeah, I said, "That's not Daeron." Before I knew that wasn't Daeron, I was like, "Girl, that ain't Daeron." Rhaenyra tells Mysaria, when they're on their way to feed the hungry people, the small folk at the sept. She says she cannot sleep, and she says she doesn't feel grief; she feels rage. So, I mean, she's grieving, I think, but it makes sense that she has this rage. But she is in mourning, and because she went and took the throne, she's not really mourning, in a traditional sense, right? So I think that because of that, she's having these experiences where she's seeing things, and she's trying to ignore her pain, her broken heart, but that's not really gonna work. Baby Corliss saw Rhaenyra, and he said, "Wait a minute, you gonna knight my son, Adam of Hull, and not Adam Velaryon? What do we talk about? What do we talk about?" And she was like, "Oh, it's a sensitive time. I can't be elevating dastards." He said, "Girl, but you want Joffrey to be the heir to the throne. He a dastard. Jace was a crown prince. He a dastard. Okay, Luke was the heir to Driftmark. He was a dastard. Girl, he was not having it. Do you hear me? Corliss was not having it. He told Rhaenyra clean off. But you know what? As someone who's also in House Velaryon, I don't appreciate how she's trying to do my people. You know what I'm saying? All the support that was given for you, all that was lost for you. Okay, this man lost his daughter, Lena died in childbirth. So let me skirt. That wasn't because of Rhaenyra. But his wife, Rhaenys, he lost because of Rhaenyra. Laenor, he lost because of Rhaenyra, her scheming with Daemon. Okay. And I think that Laenor, he's in a happier place, but still. Also, he lost Driftmark because he was Team Black. So, I mean, he has lost a lot. He's given up a lot. And I think that she just dead wrong for that. I don't appreciate that. Make them boys Velaryons. Okay, so Rhaenyra tells Alicent that her son, Daeron, that she has him, and that he's going to go take the Black. And Allison said, "Okay, well, all right, let me just see him." Girl, she going to see him, and then she tells her what I already knew, that was not her son, baby. That's not Daeron. You're not going to get Daeron that easy. So Rhaenyra's mad because Lord Ormond, she's like, "What's his game?" You know what I'm saying? Why is he... Girl, why not? Why not? You know what I'm saying? He's your enemy, okay? You surprised he acting like an enemy? Come on now. A dragon trainer comes and tells her that Lord Ormond has taken Tumbleton because he left with the army. Okay, that guy who left with the army, yeah, he's still opposing you, and he has a dragon, and he still has Daeron. And then like Daemon said, she should have killed him, and we turned. Well, Daemon for sure was right about that one. I don't agree with Daemon about everything, like this trying to be a conqueror and everything, more so than they already have conquered. But when it comes to like how to deal with enemies, I do agree with him. So she is watching the High Tower banners burn at the end of the episode, and she is upset. She's seeking vengeance, and the dragon trainer is telling her, "You can't just go down there burning things down because you have people who are your loyal subjects, and they want you to come save them." So this episode, I like this episode. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 5, I am going to rate this. One meaning you're gonna stop at Five Below and get snacks on the way to the movie theater, and a five being that you getting. I mean, the quesadillas, honey. You are getting the nachos. You're getting everything they have to offer. That big snack tray, and maybe a margarita. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna rate it a 4. I'm rating it a go big. Enjoy this with your big popcorn and your big drink, because I thought that this was, it wasn't as action packed as the last episode, but all episodes cannot be action packed, right? But I felt like we got a lot of information about Rhaenyra, what she's dealing with as a queen, how it's different for her because she is a woman, so she does have things to deal with, like her period, and also how it's different from what she expected. She's not going to come in with this big coronation. She's not coming in with money. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't trust her small council, so we see how she's still dealing with that heartbreak, that trauma from losing her sons, and she doesn't really know who to trust, right? And we're just getting the beginnings of what type of ruler she's gonna be. Also, I mean, she don't really have that much of a small council, but it seems like she is, talking to Alicent and looking at Allison as kind of a confidant and someone that she can talk to and receive counsel from as well. So that's interesting. So I'm very interested to see what happens when Daemon goes to the Vale. If he's going to run into Rhaena, if he does run into Rhaena, what's going to happen? Is he going to protect and support his child? Daemon is not really giving a good daddy. He had like those kids. Does he know you have kids? I'm just curious. But so I'm really interested to see what happens with that, and also just happen. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen just with Rhaenyra in general, her relationship with Corlys. Are they going to be able to repair that? And we didn't see what happened with Sir Kristen Cole or Gwen Hightower. Like, what's happening, that whole contingent, like what's going on with them. Also, we did not see Aemon and Alice Rivers. It says that Aemon is missing. Like, what happened with Alice Rivers? Like, did she patch him up or whatever? Is she with him? So really, really looking forward to the next episode and really, really enjoying this season. The dun, 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 dun. I'm really enjoying it. But that's all the show I have for you. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Also, you can follow us on TikTok and you can follow us on Instagram. We are over there. Okay, we're in these streets. Also, wherever you stream podcasts, okay, follow us, Margins to Movies, and give us a rating, a nice little 5-star rating. Also, check out some other videos, some other content on the channel. We just dropped a review, a book to Netflix TV series of The Polygamist. Okay, I had a lot of fun with that one, so make sure you check that out. Also, check out our previous reviews of House of the Dragon. Okay, so thank you again for joining me, and until next time, I'll meet you between the margins and the movies. Bye.